Continuing our conversation with Senator David Holt, who's now Mayor Holt for Oklahoma City.
Mayor-elect, but
yes.
David is always fine.
But you will be the mayor come April. So anyway, let's get to our first question because we did have a lot of people chime in. This is actually from Representative Forrest Bennett.
Hey.
He says, how did we end up being the largest city in the country without Sunday bus service? And what do you plan to do about it? And where do you see the streetcar expanding in the future?
Yeah, well, first of all, let me say something about Forrest. A supporter, a friend, and he took me on a bus ride. He's a big advocate for buses here in Oklahoma City.
He cares about this, yes.
And we went on a bus ride last summer. There was a lot of questions there, Forrest. But the first one was, how did we get here where we don't have Sunday service? I don't know the history. That's a good question. How do we get past it is the more important question. Obviously, it's a funding issue. It's a priority to me. I mean, I understand we don't have Sunday bus service, we don't have Sunday streetcar service coming, and I don't think that's really something we should accept. That doesn't mean there's an easy solution. I mean, it's money, and it's going to have to come from somewhere. But I think on any of these issues, when it takes money and you've just got it, the first step is prioritizing it. Look at our police officer situation. It took 10 years, but we prioritized it. We finally said we've got to have more police officers, and it took almost all of a decade to get to that point where we now have the funding in place for 120 new police officers. But we started that conversation in 2009. I really hope that it doesn't take 10 years to get Sunday bus service, but it starts with prioritizing it, and I'll say this, it's a priority of mine. I get it. When I rode those buses with Representative Bennett, I saw full buses, full of people who depend on that service to get to their jobs, to get to their doctor's appointments, to get to whatever it is they do. And I think we all have to remember that, because if you live in Oklahoma City, chances are you have a car and you don't ride the bus, and running for mayor gets you out of that bubble. And I was glad to be taken out of my bubble and put on a bus and understand that those people need it that ride that bus. And they don't probably vote, but we have to think about them too, and we have to govern for them as well. So it's important to me. He also asked about where might streetcar lines go in the future. Of course, the streetcar is going to open here in the next year downtown, and we want it to be a success. Sometimes I hear people gripe about it, but it's happening, so let's make it a success.
And were you saying it won't be available on Sunday, the streetcar?
Correct. It's not available on Sunday
either.
either. And that's maybe one element to making it a success, is we need it to be available on Sunday. In the future, it would be a part of a MAPS 4 or some other initiative. There's no funding for streetcar extensions, but in the future, I could certainly see, if it's popular and people want to continue to see it expand, I would love to see a line to Capitol Hill, for instance, or to the Innovation District in Northeast Oklahoma City, or to the Plaza District. I mean, I think all those things should be on the table. The original footprint of the streetcar allows people to move around downtown, but now I think we can use it as an economic development tool to some of those neighboring neighborhoods.
Can we go ahead and go to the Gary question? Gary Ward sent in this: I want him to continue the beautification of our city like Mick. And under your leadership, what does Oklahoma City look like in 5, 10 years from now?
Well, first of all, there are so many things yet to open that Mayor Cornett and the current mayor and council, and actually some of it's been in the works so long. I was at City Hall when we passed MAPS 3. There's so many things yet to open that Oklahoma City is going to look a lot different in 5 years, whether I did a good job or not. I mean, we've got a convention center to open, a park to open, the streetcar is going to open. There's a lot of exciting stuff. What I hope to contribute to is that next phase. And here in about 2 years, we're probably going to be, going out to the voters and considering a MAPS 4, and the conversation is going to start probably as soon as I take office. And so that's, to the question of what's up in 5, what's 5 years look like. To me, the big question looming in front of our community between now and 5 years from now is MAPS 4, and it's that potential vote is probably 18 months away, based on where this is more than you may want to know or have time for, but the street sales tax that the voters approved in September elapses in early 2020. And so if we want the sales tax rate to stay consistent, we would have to have a MAPS 4 vote in late 19. You'll hear me talk more about that when I take office.
Okay, a lot of changes to come. Hopefully the horizon is bright. I know we're running out of time here, but I do want to, take time to just ask, what does this city mean to you? And I know you must have made your family really proud with this win and what you've done for the past, 7 years as senator.
Yeah, well, thank you. Oklahoma City is my home. I was born and raised here. I went out to school in Washington, D.C., had a nice little career going there and certainly could have stayed. But my wife and I, who's from Philadelphia, we decided to come back here in 2004 when things had not, turned around to the extent that they have now. But we felt things were on the verge and that this would be a good place to raise a family. And so we committed our lives here. And obviously that decision seems to be paying off. And you know, this is the city I love. This is the city I'm committed to. It's always going to be a part of my history, and now I'm a part of its history. And so for all those reasons, yes, this is a wonderful thing, an exciting thing for our family. And yeah, I had a lot of extended family members there as well. People who knew my mother, who's no longer with us, people who knew my grandparents, people who knew my aunts and uncles who lived in Oklahoma City. And I think all of those people were on my mind and their mind last night. So yeah, you mentioned my family, and yes, I think they're very proud, and I'm very humbled by the whole experience.
Well, congratulations,
Thank you.
David, or Mayor Holt, as you'll be known around these parts from here on out. Thank you so much for your time.
Sure.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
And we'll have you back in studio pretty soon.
Sounds good.